Okay, konnichiwa. 今は Kyoto にいます. We are now in Kyoto. Just got off the Kyoto Shinkansen high-speed train, which is right on top there. There's so many train lines here. It's like 3 right down the block that crisscross right in this area. And we are about a 10-minute walk from this from the station now. Now hobbling to the Airbnb. We just dropped off the luggage before, and then my family went to shop, but I couldn't keep up with my hobbling foot, so I stayed behind. I was gonna go back to the Airbnb. But look at this. Pre-war, probably. Of course, this is, they just leave their bikes outside and it's not even locked. These bikes aren't even locked. They just leave it outside because there's no crime. Look how charming this is. Little alleyway. Something straight out of a movie. Yeah, all these bikes. 9 of them chained up. And here we are. This is our Airbnb. Looks like it's got a roof deck or something. We have the whole house to ourselves. Let's see what my wife's rented. I just follow along. I have no idea. We dropped off the luggage. The cleaners were inside before. They took it in. I have no idea what's inside. Aha. There you are. Oh man, brutal out there. It's about 95 with like really high humidity. Just brutal. Oh my god. It's killing me. Ah, a little kitchen. Oh, thank God for AC. Cute. Haha. There's our luggage. And that's going to be one of the bedrooms, I'm guessing, maybe the kids' room. Tatami mats on the floor. This is where we eat. What's in here? What's behind door number 1? Oh, bathroom. What a soaking tub. Nice. Oh, traditional soaking tub. Very nice. And a shower. No garden out back. Beautiful, so quaint. So quaint. Put down my school bag. Drenched. Let's go upstairs, take a look. Oh my God. But once we're done with this, we can talk about, oh wow, there's 2 more bedrooms up here. Oh, it is hot up here. I gotta turn on the AC. Oh my God. Another AC. And a toilet? Yeah. Oh, look at that. the top automatically opened. And of course you got the hand washer over there. When you flush, after you flush, the water goes in there, fills up the tank, and you wash your hand at the same time. And this is, what is this? It's like a little deck. All right, not bad. Very tiny house, I would guess probably about 200 square feet per floor. But hey, big enough for the 4 of us. downstairs with this AC. Oh my God. I gotta soak my foot. We have a little walking tour later at 7 o'clock. I gotta soak it in cold water or something. Whew. Oh my God. But yeah, let's talk about the part 2 of NYPD pension. What to expect when expecting a pension. Expect that, let me turn this around. You should expect that all right, here we go. Oh my God. Expect that the pension is gonna be too small for you to live on, right? I keep mentioning that if you have a pension, you're basically going to be living on half of what your previous income was. And if you're married as a couple and your wife wants to retire as well and she doesn't have a pension, you're going to be living on a quarter of your previous income. So how do you prepare yourself for that? Well, you're going to have to live way below your means, right? You can't use up, if the two of you make up $200,000 in income, you can't live on $200,000 and then retire 20 years later and expect $50,000 to cover all your bills. It doesn't happen. It can't happen that way, right? So you're gonna have to do investments on the side. You're gonna have to live, as frugally as you can. Otherwise, you end up like the vast majority of, cops that I know. They retire and then they completely move out of the New York City area. They go to Florida or North Carolina, Texas, Kentucky, etc. And instead of buying a cheap house, they buy a big house because they never had it here, right? They buy their dream house and start a 30-year mortgage in their 40s and 50s. So that means you're going to be paying, a mortgage into your 70s and 80s. Come on, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's plan a little more ahead of time so you're not having to work to pay a mortgage, right? I understand that a mortgage will be staying the same, and you think when you retire with $50,000, and let's say your $50,000 is enough to pay for your, now dream house. Maybe it'll be a lot less in Florida, right? Not anymore. Let's go to Kentucky or Georgia. Maybe with $50,000 you can buy your dream house down there, But your pension, the big downside of a pension is it never grows. It never grows. I know that the NYPD pension, it's the first $18,000 that gets a COLA adjustment. First $18,000. I mean, that was great when pensions were only about $20,000. That means your entire pension, right, got a COLA, cost of living adjustment. But now we have $50,000 minimum because that's the bottom level police officer pension, right? $50,000, and the first $18,000 gets the COLA adjustment, and the rest of it doesn't get any adjustment. So essentially, your $50,000 pension never grows. It never grows. And you may think that you're locking in a 30-year new mortgage somewhere in down south in Georgia, and you're locking it in, and you'll never have to pay more in mortgage. But the other costs rise with time, right? The two houses that I had for 15 years, from start to finish, right? We lived in a townhouse, and then I upsized to a detached house. From start to finish, my home insurance went up multiple times. That is several 100%, okay? My taxes, real estate taxes, went up several 100%, maybe 300% in those 15 years. So think about that. 30 years, your new house, your new, maybe a little bit cheaper down there, Georgia house, 30 years later, I'm pretty sure those taxes and the insurance are going to go up multiple times, right? And just look at Florida. 10, 15 years ago, all my friends were moving down to Florida when they retired. Now you can't afford Florida. Look at the insurance rates. The insurance rates in Florida have gone through the roof. They are something ridiculous because of, the natural disasters, the hurricanes, right? Every other year, you're gonna have to essentially build a new house or a new condo on the beach. That's ridiculous. So insurance rates are through the roof, and people that moved down there 10, 15 years ago are now moving out of there into Kentucky, North Carolina, Georgia. don't think that it won't happen to those states too, right? As soon as more people get in there, things start getting more expensive, your taxes start going up. It's the same process all over again. So how do you prevent yourself from doing that? You got to plan way ahead. You got to plan way ahead. You can't just wing it and be like, okay, 20 years later, I have this awesome pension and it's going to take care of everything. Doesn't happen that way, okay? It does not happen that way. You have to save money on the side. You have to invest on the side. And you have to live well below your means in order to prepare for 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line. Right? I have way too many coworkers right now in my part-time gig. Way too many of them who are in their 60s, who they retired about 20, 25 years ago. So their pensions are now $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month. Guess how many hours? I work 8 hours a week, twice a week. Guess how many hours some of these other guys work? They're on there for 6, 7 days, 12-hour shifts, just to survive in New York City because $2,000 in pension does not pay the bills. Okay, $2,000 is in my neighborhood, which is not it's a good neighborhood in Queens, right? But it's not the most expensive, right? And I live in a co-op, so it's the cheapest thing that we can find to live in. Even so, the cheapest apartment in my neighborhood is about $2,000, a 1-bedroom, $2,000. So these cop friends that retired, 20, 25 years ago, they can't even afford to rent a 1-bedroom apartment with their pension. So plan way ahead. And if you have a significant other or you have kids, you got to get life insurance. And don't do whole life. And don't do annuities. Don't do any of those fancy things aside from basically a term life policy. That is the most cost effective. You protect what you want to protect for a set amount of years, and that's it, right? Once your kids are grown, they shouldn't need that protection, right? And you may have maybe another mil or so to protect your wife in case you croak early, right? Because if you croak, when I croak, my wife doesn't get a pension, right? So that's the big thing about the pension versus the 401k. 401k, my wife gets everything. The pension, I mean, theoretically, they're paying me for 40 years of retirement, right? At the average cop's retirement salary pension of about $50,000, right? We discussed in the last video that some people think that the average NYPD pension is worth about $2, maybe $3 million, right? So, but if I croak tomorrow, my wife gets nothing, right? And the city would have only paid me for 5, 6 years of pension, and they luck out. So get a term life policy for a set amount of years to protect your kids. And then once they're grown, forget about them. You continue with a term policy to protect your wife in case, you croak and she has nothing else to fall back on, right? She needs that pension. Well, if you croak, your wife gets no pension, but she will have that term life policy. So that's some of the planning that should be going on as soon as you start the job. You got to start thinking about some of this stuff, and not wait till the last, year or last 3 years to start retirement planning and start putting money away, etc. It's a little too late. Frankly, it's a little too late. Okay, so that's what to expect when you're expecting a pension. The pension will never go up. Costs over time will go up. So you need some way to outgrow inflation. Okay? And that comes in a form of living well below your means, an IRA, a 401k, any other investments that you might want to do that maybe you could do. Any investments would be better than just a pension. You will outlive that $50,000 pension. Given just 2 to 3% a year, the $50,000 pension, you retire at 45, at 65, at 75, that pension is worth half, less than half. So can you really live on $25,000 like some of my cop coworkers right now? They cannot live in New York City on $25,000. Okay, that is just impossible. So you got to plan ahead. All right, we're signing out here from Kyoto, Japan. See you next time.